Greetings, folks. It is good to have you here. We're going to try to get through the day here as best we can. I'm looking for the words to most perfectly capture the range of emotion that I feel. And I'm watching these people as they have assembled on the stage for the inauguration of plugs. And this inauguration looks like what you would expect from a one-party state. This inauguration looks like the Chinese Olympics, with hundreds and hundreds of flags to replace people who were not allowed to show up. Now, why do you think people were not allowed to show up? People aren't allowed to show up because of COVID. People aren't allowed to show up because of the threats of the National Guard might open fire on everybody. That's not why. The reason that they put up all these replacements for people is that I don't think they were confident a bunch of people would show up for this. Because I think they know. I think they know that they are not. You got to be very careful here in the words I choose. I think they know that this is something that's been arranged rather than legitimately sought and won. And you can see this in their attitudes, in their smiles. You can see it, hear it in the words that they are uttering. It's like, I remember the 1984 Democrat convention was in San Francisco. I happened to be there. I was covering it. And one of the speakers on one of the nights was the mayor of Washington, D.C. His name was Marion Barry. And the sum total of his speech was, tonight we're on the inside. Tonight we're on the, meaning, finally, the minorities that really are the Democrat Party have made it to the power base. We're on the inside. We're not on the outside looking in. And I sense a similar frame of mind with the people that are up there on the stage. At this, they've been sweating bullets for 4 years, and they are now convinced that they have re-secured their complete and total hold on power in Washington. But I think they know that it's fleeting. They're going to do everything they can to make sure it's not fleeting. They're going to do everything possible to make sure that they never lose it again. Don't misunderstand. But I think all of these people have souls, and they all have deep, dark crevices where they engage in deep thoughts about themselves. And I think when they go there, I think that a number of them actually have to admit that they've dodged a bunch of bullets here. And I think they know, and this is the big one, I think they know with 74 million, maybe 80 million people who did not vote for Joe Biden, there is no way they can honestly say to themselves that they represent the power base of the country. They're going to have to take it. They're going to have to hold on to it and never let go of it. They have not legitimately won it. Now, I'm on thin ice saying this. I'm making myself a target saying this, but I've been doing this for 30 years. And it's really no different today than 30 years ago. It's no different than last week in terms of the way I approach this. And it's almost a question of legitimacy. I'm almost of the mind that they know that there's not a full-fledged legitimacy to this, but it doesn't matter because they're able to lie to themselves. They're able to tell themselves stories. They really don't have anybody there, and they've got people replaced by 200,000 flags. 200,000 flags that have been placed on the Washington Mall. And it looks just like when the Olympics are in China. It's almost like the flags represent people who couldn't be there. And they didn't want people there because of COVID-19, because the National Guard might open fire, because whoever it was that ran the operation on January 6th against the Capitol might show up at this inauguration, because, of course, nobody can guarantee anybody's security anymore. They have to make that plain. They have to make the threat look like it's viable at any moment in order to keep the negative vibes up about people like you and me. But what do you think the real truth is, that they are not confident that if they opened this thing up to open seating, that they would be overflowing with a crowd? I don't think they would.